What happens to your brain when you remember? 10 amazing facts. First fact: the labyrinth of memories. When you try to remember something, the brain opens an invisible labyrinth. Inside it, billions of electrical connections light up, searching for a specific point in time. This journey begins in the hippocampus, the memory's central archiving center. It searches through old records, reorganizes fragments, and reconstructs scenes. But memory is not a static archive. It is alive, plastic, and each revived memory is slightly altered. The brain doesn't reproduce, it recreates. Every time you remember, the story changes a little. Second fact: the electric switch. The act of remembering is like turning on a light bulb. Electrical impulses travel through neurons, jumping across synapses at an absurd speed. These connections are strengthened the more you recall an event. Therefore, remembering is training the brain. Every repeated memory becomes easier to access. This is how strong memories are born, not from what you experienced, but from how often you relived it. Third fact: emotional memory. The brain doesn't record facts, it records emotions. The amygdala, the center of fear and pleasure, decides what is worth remembering. The more intense the emotion, the deeper the mark. That's why you clearly remember your first kiss, but not what you ate 3 days ago. Emotion is neural glue. Without emotion, the memory slips into oblivion. Fourth fact: the power of the inner gaze. When you close your eyes and try to remember something, the visual cortex reactivates, as if you were seeing the scene again. The brain literally projects the past onto the mind's internal cinema. This reactivation of sensory areas is what gives color, sound, and texture to memories. It's not magic. It's biological neurotechnology. Fifth fact: the invisible enemy. Forgetting is an essential part of memory. The brain erases information to avoid collapsing. It eliminates what it considers irrelevant, freeing up space for new experiences. Forgetting, therefore, is a form of cognitive survival. And the curious thing is that the more you try not to think about something, the more the brain reinforces the memory. Sixth fact: the war between focus and distraction. When you can't remember something, it's usually because your prefrontal cortex is overloaded. The excess of stimuli, screens, sounds, and worries creates electrical interference. It's like trying to hear a specific voice in the middle of a crowd. Mental silence is memory's greatest ally. Seventh fact: the sleep archivist. During sleep, the brain reviews the day. It sorts, edits, and saves information in long-term memory. That's why studying and then sleeping is one of the most powerful forms of learning. Sleep is the brain's nightly librarian. It archives what's important and erases the rest. Eighth fact: the aging of the mind. Over time, the hippocampus loses efficiency, but the brain finds alternative pathways. Old memories remain strong, while new ones become more difficult to retain. However, learning new things stimulates the growth of new neural connections. Brain aging is not a sentence, it's a challenge. Ninth fact: collective memory. The human brain doesn't remember on its own. Every conversation, photo, or song shared reinforces a memory through social interaction. It's collective memory, a web of connected minds. When you talk about something with someone, your brains synchronize, and the memory becomes more solid. 10th fact: the echo of the past. Every memory is a bridge between who you were and who you are. To remember is to rebuild yourself. When you access the past, the brain uses this information to shape future decisions. The past is not a burden, it's a manual. The human brain is the only one capable of living in the present based on memories, and that is the root of consciousness. Want to see what else happens to your brain when you remember, and other amazing things about your mind? Click the links below.